welcome to another video. Now, I've just gone around some scrapyards and you're probably wondering why I'm doing that, because I'm going to be working on the old Civic today, the Civic EG. I don't necessarily need anything for that because I've got two of those cars, but for this, the EM1, I wanted an aircon tensioner bracket and pulley. The tensioner is just missing. I got the car like that and that's why the aircon doesn't work. So ironically, on the hottest fucking day of the year, I'm looking for an aircon tensioner and pulley. Now, as you can see behind me, I don't know if you can see that, but as you can see behind me, I've just been to a scrapyards, and I've been to four now, and they aren't like they used to be. I remember running around a scrapyard looking for parts for my I had like a Polo back in the day. I remember looking for parts for that Elridge Polo. There were few and far between because of the age of the car, but I could run around the scrapyard, look at what I wanted, see if I could find bits from other cars, other same branded cars, and pull parts off and see if they fit. I can't do that anymore. It's like health and safety gone mad, which is a proper downer. So I went to one scrapyard, and that's actually been monopolised as well, in the fact that every Honda, Nissan and Toyota is getting the parts ripped off of it by one guy. He's sticking them in a container and sending them to Malaysia. And that's the biggest scrapyard that I know of in Leeds as well. It's just a proper downer. So anyway, crack on with the rest of today. So you join me now in the lockup where the white EG is. As you can see, it's feeling very sorry for itself. But yeah, the idea is that I'm just going to start. Don't mind my dodgy light setup. Video on that below. Best 20 quid I've ever spent these. Actually make the lockup look like it's daylight inside, which is really good for the sake of 20 quid. Can't complain. But yeah, so I'm working on this at the minute. As you may or may not be able to see, it's a bit of a mess. So I've just started doing the floor there, just sweeping it up. As you can see, there's broken glass and there's all sorts of crap, and there's loads of surface rust as well in there, which obviously isn't ideal. So I'm just sweeping up all the crap at the minute, and then I'm going to go over, it's just all surface rust, there's nothing serious really on the interior. I'm going to go over it with a few drill bits, Genelite rust remover and the Genelite primer, which is an oil-based primer, so it should be a bit better at keeping the rust down. But yeah, I'm going to proper rough it up, try and get it to bare metal, then use the rust remover, rust preventer, and hopefully we won't see any rust then return because I've got rid of it with the drill bit. The idea is that I just use the Genelite stuff for just for extra peace of mind, really. That's the plan for today anyway, just to start on the interior of this, just to start on the corrosion that I can get to. Then I need to look at the arches. Aren't that bad, they're pretty solid to be fair. I'll show you them now. As you can see, the arches aren't as bad as the EG that I actually used to drive daily. The sills aren't that bad. There's small sections that need cutting out and welding up. So it's not bad to be fair. The only part that I'm concerned about is this section here. So as you can see there, that don't look very good. It's very corroded. It's that section there that I might end up having to cut out, but time will tell, as they say. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that now, and that's going to basically be the video. So I'll be putting you on a quick time lapse, giving you a quick before and after. The trip to the scrapyard obviously this morning proved fruitless, which was a bit of a shame. They've really changed now, scrapyards, like I was saying before, and I know this video is a bit all over the place, but the idea is that I was going to go to the scrapyard for the washer jets from a Jazz, if I could find a Jazz. Came across a Jazz that didn't have a bonnet. I'm guessing it's been sold as a panel to somebody who needed a Jazz bonnet. I also wanted the aircon tensioner bracket off of a B series engine. They wouldn't let me into the scrapyard to just have a look through the cars. So like, what model year is it? What model is it on? And trying to explain to a scrapyard fella that it's not that specific vehicle that I want to look at that I've come in. It's for that car, but it's going to be the same part number on various different cars because they all share the same engine group. And then when I say it's a 2 litre CRV, that's got a B20 in it, or HRV, or Integra, Prelude with the old B series engines. I believe they share the same part number as well. And I'm saying this to the guy, and he's like, "What model year?" And I'm like, "From anything from 1990 through to 2006, and he's like, oh, we've got a 2006 CRV, so I went over and it had a K20 in it. So I'm like, no, sorry mate, it's not the right thing. But it's frustrating that you can't just go in, look, do what you need to do, and it's all because it's gone health and safety mental, which is a bit crap. So now we're on the main course, if you like, for today. It's going to be making a start on the Civic restoration project. This might end up going full send. I've been looking at things like a Pandem kit for it, which would be a bit naughty. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on. And if you haven't seen a Beat before, we've got a little Honda Beat down here. Now for those that don't know, this is a little a little key car, however you want to pronounce it. These are a 660cc engine. The red line is like at 11,000 RPM or something crazy, and the rev to like 9.5 grand before the fuel cut happens. It might even be 10 grand, I can't remember. But a little 660cc, manual 5-speed, mid-engined rear-wheel drive, 63 horsepower, weigh about 740 kilo, and they are ridiculously fun to drive. This needs an engine rebuild. It's burning a bit of oil. I think it's the piston rings. Got quite low mileage on it. I think it's got like 70k on it or something like that, which is quite high for a key car, but it's one of them things. Also needs a gearbox rebuild because the I think it's the output shaft bearing is just absolutely knackered. It makes a right racket. Quite a lot of those parts are D-series engine parts, apart from the and D-series gearbox parts, should I say. There's just a few things, like the piston size is obviously completely different, but they do share quite a lot of components with D-series engines and D-series boxes do the Honda key cars. But yeah, it's a cool little thing. Anyway, so as you can see here on the interior, we've got quite a bit of surface rust, more so down here. This is the area that I'm really concerned about. I've just started like sweeping it up with a dustpan and brush. It was just all like this. I've sort of saved this car from going to a scrapyard, and it is a genuine import. It's an EG3 import from Japan, with the 1.3 D series engine, an automatic gearbox, and it's got aircon as well. I don't know if you can just see that little button there, but yeah, it's got aircon, which is a strange combination. No sunroof as well, which makes it that bit rarer. Yeah, you can see the rear arches are in a lot better condition than that of my Red EG, but still need doing. The sills similar, all there, but we need patches cutting out and welding in. But yeah, miles more solid than my Red EG. So I'm going to start sweeping it out now. I'm going to give it a grind then with the electric drill. But I'm going to try and get all the rust off first, and then just use this as a bit of peace of mind really, and then cover it with that so it's sealed. So I'll put you on a quick time lapse now on top of the Beat, and make a start. So for those wondering, these are the actual panels that I've got for the car. So I've got a pair of sills and a pair of rear quarter arches. So go there, obviously. But it's all swept out now. I'm going to start grinding it out. See, it's not that bad actually when you've swept all the crap out. It don't look too bad. Tiny spots, tiny bits, like there's a bit there. But yeah, I'm going to start grinding that out now. Especially that. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of graft. I've got quite a lot of work ahead of me, but this is going to be the first video, if you like, of me starting work on this particular project. it will be the revival of the red H22 Civic. I'm going to be putting the same engine and box in it. It's going to have all the same, running gear, all the suspension, all the polybushed bits, anti-roll bars, DC2 steering rack, all the black interior is going to go into it. And as I said before, I'm genuinely considering the Pandem kit, but we'll see. Time tells all, as they say. It's going to need a few plates welded on the interior from what I can see, but it's all in places it's going to be hidden by the interior pieces and interior panels. There's nothing that stands out as of yet that's going to need like a panel welded in, where it's going to be easily visible. Overall, it's just covered in surface rust. There's nothing really that's got a massive rust hole from what I can see on it, but time will tell. It could be the famous last words, touch wood. That's not the case. Oh, bloody hell. Only reason I've stopped, really, I'm knackered obviously, but the only reason I've stopped is because the drill's overheated, so I'm waiting for that to cool down. Next to me, Heineken, showed you that earlier in the time lapse. Them Heineken 0% alcohols are really good, to be fair. I do genuinely like them. But yeah, so that's the plan for this anyway. I'm going to crack on with the grinding out of the rust, and I'll catch up with you in a bit, probably when I'm going to start applying some of the Genelite stuff, and then blast it over with some primer. So I'm going to crack on. I'll catch you in a bit. So I've ground out all the rust now. As I say, there are some spots that might need like a little plate or something. This section here needs cutting out, and then whatever's underneath rusting also needs a bit of attention. But all these sections now that I've ground out, I'm going to apply a bit of Genelite to them. This section down here looks bad, but it's not as bad as what you would think. That there is the inner wing, and that is actually worse than what it appears from the outside. Not good. It's a good job I bought some sills. There we go, famous last words. Already gone. Not good. But it's a good job, it's getting all welded up. It's getting done. So I've just put my finger through, and it's under here. All the all the metal's falling out. Oh, rust, should I say. Looking bad. As you go further forward, it's not as bad as you can see down there. But this section here, that's where it starts. Just all it's cutting out. Yeah, I'm just doing the interior for now, obviously. I'm going to get the Genelite stuff on this, on these patches that I've cleaned up, and then wipe it off as it instructs, and go from there. So I've just applied some Genelite with a brush, just simple paint brush, just like agitating it into the metal. So that's that stuff there, the rust remover. So I'll show you what I've done. I'll just show you what I've done. So you can see there that I've agitated it almost to like a foam. Now it's just sat on the bare metal, if you like, and it seems to be working quite well. To be fair, it seems to be really bringing up the rust into like some sort of like grey. I don't know, like I don't know if it's pulling like the carbon out of it or something. I don't know. Like I don't really know what it's doing. It's weird. Yeah, it's turning like a grey colour. Then it says to just apply a bit more over the top and then immediately wipe it off. So after I've left it for I think about 20 minutes now, you agitate it like every 5. So I'm going to agitate it once more, and then after I've done that, I'll then leave it further 15, and then apply it once more as it says, then wipe it off. If that makes sense. So you apply it initially, agitate it every 5, then leave it for 15 minutes, then put one last coat over the top and then wipe it away with that coat. That's how I've read the instructions anyway, so I'm going to do that, and then that's obviously the interior then done on that rear seat section. I've also just touched the, if you can see just there, I've just touched like the door aperture just along the top edge, just because I noticed like a couple of stone chips where it just started to go amber. So, and then when it comes down to doing like the floor section in both the driver's and passenger side, I think it's just the driver's side, to be honest, that needs it. I don't think the passenger side does it all. The passenger side seems very tidy, to be fair, in comparison to the driver's side. But I'm gonna, do the same process there. Give it a good fettle. The passenger side does need it towards the rear, where the rear passenger would put their feet, as you can see. But as far as the actual passenger's footwell, it's perfectly fine. Same with the driver's footwell. It's just here, directly beneath the driver and passenger seat, where the rear occupants would put their feet. That's what needs doing next. And then along the top of the sill here, just the door apertures, if you can see that, just there, just along that section. I've just decided to do this by myself as well, by the way, because I'd reached out to quite a few people, and some people I had to chase down, like body repairers and stuff. Other people, they wanted to physically inspect the car, and then even then they wouldn't be able to say what it would need, and I completely understand that. Obviously, once you take a panel off, there's normally more rust underneath. It's normally worse than what you ever expect it to be underneath. But there were just so many people that were local that didn't want to touch it at all because of the age of it, and then there were so many people that were further away that wanted, to physically see the car, and obviously it's not roadworthy, so that's a nightmare for me logistically. And there were other people that I had to just keep persisting to, question them. I even had to ask other people to contact them, and eventually they said, yeah, get some photos to us. That happened with like 2 different companies, and it's like I got sick of chasing companies and sick of trying to find somebody to pay to do this, and they're in the business of restoring cars, receiving money to restore cars, and I just felt like nobody wanted to take my money. And it was just bizarre. So I'm thinking, yes, stuff it, I'm going to DIY it, see how it goes, see what happens. So I've wiped it all off now. It looks pretty good, to be fair. It looks nice and clean, fresh bare metal. I'm going to now go over it with the primer, give it a kind of good shake, obviously, go over the areas that I've just cleaned and rust treated. I'm going to go over that with the primer now. Yeah, it does look pretty good. So if you can see that there. Yeah, it's looking nice and shiny. There are a few areas that I'm going to have to cut out and weld in some plate. But apart from that, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to get to spraying. So this is after 30 minutes as well, by the way. Oh. This camera's okay. As you can see, it comes out red. Just put a nice thick coat over everything that I touched. So that is the smallest ever section done. But God, did it take a while. So I've got that side to do, both these pieces to do, the boot to do. Nightmare. I hope this is enough just to do the interior bits. So I'm going to call the video there. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified on my next upload. But yeah, that is the start, if you like, for the Civic EG revival. Long journey ahead, I'm sure. But yeah, it just needs so much work. Right, that's all I've done. I've just done one section. It's absolutely boiling. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.